Hey everybody, it's Kevin Lures, registered sports dietitian and certified strength and conditioning specialist. And I want to talk to you about the glycemic index. And I want to talk to you about the glycemic index because this term gets thrown around a lot today. People say this is a low glycemic food, this one's a high glycemic food, low glycemic is good, high glycemic is bad. So what does this actually mean? Well, first of all carbohydrate foods generate a rise in blood sugar or blood glucose levels. The rise in blood sugar causes the pancreas to secrete insulin, which is a storage hormone that transports sugar from the blood into the body's cells. Now, the glycemic index is a tool as a percentage that's used to help predict the blood sugar response of a given food compared to a standard food, which the standard food is glucose. The glycemic index is based on a scale of 1 to 100, with glucose being 100. Low glycemic foods are below 55 and high glycemic foods are above 70. If it's a high glycemic food, then blood sugar will spike and rise rapidly, whereas if it's a low glycemic food, then blood sugar will raise very, very steadily. Now, there are some shortcomings of the glycemic index, and first of all, it's based on a 50-gram serving of carbohydrate, which may not be realistic with the everyday individual. Secondly, and more importantly, the glycemic index is influenced by a lot of different things, such as starch structure, fiber content, food processing, the actual physical structure of the food, and macronutrients such as fat or protein in the meal. Now, once these are introduced into the equation, the glycemic index gets thrown out the window. So for example, if you're eating a small bagel, which has a glycemic index of 72, if you add cream cheese to this, which has fat and protein, then the glycemic index will be lower, so that score of 72 gets thrown out the window. Therefore, an alternative is to use glycemic load, which may be a better indicator to predict blood sugar response, since it adjusts the glycemic index by taking into account the varying amount of carbohydrates consumed. The scale is as such: below 15 is a low glycemic load food, above 20 is a high glycemic load food, and everything in between is considered intermediate. Sometimes the glycemic load of a particular food will be lower than the glycemic index. For instance, jelly beans have a glycemic index of 80. This is considered high. However, if you consumed a half an ounce of jelly beans, which is basically 5 jelly beans, the glycemic load would be 10, since it's below 15, being considered low glycemic load, and therefore not generate a spike in blood sugar. So glycemic index, glycemic load. If you have any questions, email me, kmlures@yahoo.com. Again, that's KMLUHRS@yahoo.com. Thank you.